Thank you all for joining us for the Winter Destinations webinar. Before we begin, please note this presentation is being recorded for marketing purposes. At this time, all attendees are in listen-only mode. If you have a question anytime throughout the presentation, please type it in the upper right-hand corner and we will answer it after the presentation. If there are specific questions that we can't answer at the moment, we will have someone from our team reach out to you by email within 24 hours. And without further ado, I'm going to hand over the mic to our Midwest Sales Manager, Meredith Harrell.
Hey there, thank you, Danielle, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today, this morning. I'm really excited to go through some great winter escapes for your clients. We're really seeing the winter destination kind of grow more and more, and we're excited for that because I feel like it's such a different side of Europe that people are getting to experience. So I'm going to start really briefly with a little bit about Europe Express, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the destinations we're going to focus on today. So that's me. Put a face with a name. I am Meredith Harrell. I'm the Midwest Sales Manager for Europe Express. I am based in Dallas and sitting in my home office right now, just enjoying some sunshine. So if you are in my territory, hello. Hopefully I've met you. If not, please connect with me after this. I'd love to get to know you. So let's talk a little bit about Europe Express. So what makes us different from everybody else? I think that there are 5 really things that we can focus on. 5 things are on here. So hand-picked products. We have an office in Barcelona that does all of our contracting for us. So they're really going out there and vetting those products. They're sightseeing the hotels. They're meeting with the transfer companies. They're doing these sightseeing activities. So really vetting those things for your clients. They also provide in-destination emergency support, which is the 5th thing that we talk about. There's a phone number that's for them on all of our documents. I think that that's really reassuring for your clients while they're traveling to have a phone number of someone, maybe not exactly where they are, but in their time zone that can assist them. So hopefully it doesn't wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So our reservation experts, our home office is located in Bothell, Washington, which is just north of Seattle. And our team there, I really think that they are the heart and soul of our organization. They are so well traveled. And they're really there to provide you that support, give you the confidence to help sell these destinations for your clients. We also have a dedicated groups team located in Seattle. They do an incredible job. We just recently did a big comp set analysis, and we really do groups unlike anybody else in the marketplace. Ricardo and her team hand select all the products for your group and are with you from the very start of it until after it's executed. So they do a wonderful job. If you haven't done a groups with us, I recommend looking into a private group. And also we are available 24/7 online as a resource for you. We do have a booking engine online as well. And then unlike many of the others, our FIT reservations team is actually open 7 days a week. So we're there to support you even on the weekends, especially if you have a lot of questions about a destination you're not as familiar with. Do call us on the weekends. They'll be happy to give you some information. So here are the 22 countries that we serve, from Iceland to Western Turkey, from Portugal to Scandinavia. These are also the same 22 countries that 82% of all Americans go to when going on a leisure vacation to Europe. As a reminder, we do only sell Europe and we do only sell to the travel agent community. So really, we always say your success is our success in this. So the majority of our business is FIT travel. We know that 2 itineraries are never going to be the same. So everything is completely customizable with us. You can do as little as a transfer or a sightseeing or a hotel with us to the full kit and caboodle, where we can get them their flight there, their transfer to the hotel, get them their hotel stay, fill them up with sightseeing activities throughout their stay, and get them either a car or rail to get them through all the destinations. So on the FIT side, we really are that one-stop shop for you for your client's trip to Europe. And like I said, our groups team really does it like no other. Our private groups, we consider 10 or more adults traveling together. We've been seeing a lot of friends and family trips, special interest groups, religious trips, educational trips. Our groups business has grown so very much. One kind of key group that we have are pre and post cruise stays, both on the FIT and the group side, even more so on the group side. So if you are doing any kind of cruising or have clients doing some cruising, do consider us on the pre or post cruise side. So on the products and services, we are air, hotels, sightseeing, transfers, rail, and rental cars, all in one place for you. On our air side, we contract with 17 major carriers. We have economy, business, and first class rates available, and I'll tell you, our business and first class rates are really, really amazing rates, very competitive. On the hotel side of things, we also do inter-Europe air, I should say that as well. On the hotel side of things, we contract 3 to 5 star properties, so really something for everyone. We also have castle stays, B&Bs, posadas, some apartment stays, so really something for everyone. You know, every client is looking for something different when they travel, and some people, the hotel is very important. For me, I love a really nice hotel. For other people, it's just a place to put their head down and a place to take a shower. So we really have that kind of full spectrum for your clients that you can customize that itinerary for them. On the sightseeing side, we have about 650 sightseeing options loaded off the shelf for you. That's before anything is customized. So we have everything from your hop-on, hop-off bus experiences places, which I do always highly recommend for someone who's traveling for the first time to Europe or the first time in a specific city. It's a great way for them to get acclimated to the city. So we have macaron baking classes and cooking classes with chefs in different destinations. We have photography tours. We have painting classes. We really have some very special experiences and places as well. So like I said, the full spectrum for everyone. On the transfer side, we have shared private and executive private transfers. On the rail side, we have all Rail Europe products loaded live in our system, so we can do point-to-point, regional passes, seat assignments. We're really doing that as a convenience factor because we know rail can be so cumbersome for y'all. And then on the rental cars, I'm not a big driver even in the city, so when I go on vacation, not my idea of fun. But I was talking to a few of our agents in regards to this webinar, and they were telling me that they rented a car in Iceland, and they thought it was a wonderful way to see the country, and they were able to drive very easily through. So maybe that would be something your clients would be into. So today we're going to talk about some winter getaways that we offer. This was actually an interesting one for me because I felt like I had a little bit of a glimpse into what y'all do every day, because I think the hardest part of y'all's job is to sell someone on something maybe that you're not as familiar with. And I've always said that that's what kind of Europe Express, where we come into play, that what your clients come to you for is what you come to us for in terms of Europe, because we know you can't know every destination backwards and forwards. And I had that exact same experience. And so I was in Seattle 2 weeks ago, and I went and I spent some time with all of our res agents, and they gave me such wonderful insight into all of these destinations. So I could speak a little bit more confidently to y'all. So I know y'all have a really hard job, and I admire everything that you do. And now I want to go to these winter getaways, and I hope you'll want to as well and send your clients there. So as the summer months may be coming to an end, it does not mean that vacation season is over. Instead of following the crowds to Europe during the summer months, plan a visit in the off-season. From cheaper airfare and discounted accommodations to holiday markets and winter festivals, there are a number of reasons to encourage a colder weather getaway. So we're going to start our getaway in Germany. As the snow coats the cobblestones, Germany turns into a winter wonderland. As the days become shorter, the city is filled with anticipation as everyone awaits the festivals and Christmas markets that mark the season. Your guests will love the light displays that awaken the old city squares. The capital of Bavaria is known for many things, but none so much as Oktoberfest. While your clients may miss the noise and the crowds by visiting during the winter months, the one thing they'll never miss is beer. As much of a cultural experience as a culinary treat, the beer halls of Munich are the perfect place to pull up a seat, grab a stein, and enjoy some folk dancing as you savor your brew. Afterwards, your guests can check out the bustling food stalls and nearby Christmas markets before exploring the city's palaces, churches, and nearby alpine villages. From there, we're going to take either a 1-hour drive that can be done on the Autobahn, or you could take a 1-hour train ride to get your guests to Nuremberg. As one of the largest cities in Bavaria, Nuremberg's history can be traced back to the 11th century. Once the site of pre-war Nazi rallies, the city was nearly leveled by Allied bombings before it later became the location for the famous Nuremberg trials. This winter, travelers will celebrate a gentler side of the city's history with the coming of the Advent season and the Christkindlmarkt, which is Germany's most famous Christmas market. The event traces its beginnings to the 16th century. And during the month-long celebration, revelers can shop for traditional Franconian products like wooden children's toys, some food, glass ornaments. Jenny, one of our reservation agents, was telling me that her favorite thing in all of Germany is Nuremberg sausages. So make sure to tell your clients to try those while they're there. And if you'll look on the go-to meeting, we have actually attached 3 handouts. And on those handouts, we'll have our hotel recommendations for each of the destinations. In Nuremberg, we recommended the NH Collection Hotel, which is really one of my favorites. I love this property. So make sure to look at those handouts. I'll also send an email following this with those attached to it. So from there, we're going to take a 5-hour train to Berlin. And it's really hard to tell where the demolished Berlin Wall once bisected the downtown Berlin, but that doesn't mean the remainders of the divided city don't still exist. From Checkpoint Charlie to the Brandenburg Gate and the remaining sections of the wall itself are remnants of the Cold War that are a powerful experience your guests will never forget. In the city's historic core are other wonders to explore like Museum Land and Charlottenburg Palace. Your guests can wander along the Spree River or stroll under the Unter den Linden, which is Berlin's Grand Avenue, to witness the city's ever-evolving designs. I don't speak German, and fun fact, Ricarda, who has our groups team, she's actually from Germany, and 2 of our reservation agents on the FIT side lived in Germany, one for about 4 years and one for 12 years. So they were very helpful to me in the pronunciation of some of these things, so pardon my butchering. So from Berlin, we're going to move on to Iceland. Iceland has been huge for us in the last, I would say, year and a half. It is very, very high up on my must-go-to list, especially like this picture to me. It's like everything I want to do in life. So Iceland is most often visited during the all-too-short summer seasons. But what your clients may not know is in the winter months, they're not only just as magical, they're also cheaper and a lot less crowded. In exchange for the chill, your visitors will get the chance to explore the land like a local, taking in Reykjavik's posh restaurants, fashionable art galleries, and thrilling outdoor excursions. Travelers can trace their way around the city on the Icelandic run tour bar crawl. They can explore the country's natural wonders along the Ring Road or soak in the Blue Lagoon, which is a thermal pool whose milky waters are always at toasty 102 degrees. And while there's always something to see in Iceland, the crisp winter months offer the best chance for your guests to witness the dancing northern lights and the ice caves that are the hallmark of the season. I was actually speaking with Paula, our president, when I was in Seattle, and she was like shocked that I had never been to Iceland because it's one of her favorite destinations in Europe. And she was telling me that one of the times that she went, she did this experience in the Blue Lagoon where they actually baked bread underneath the water because the steam from that 102-degree water actually cooked the bread. And then from there, they had these thermal sauna huts that they would go in. They were tiny little huts, and there was holes poked in it that they would sit, and you would be in like your personalized sauna. So she said it was such a cool experience. She would go back time after time. So like I said, it's on my list. Hopefully it will be on your clients as well. So the most popular itinerary really, I think, of Iceland is this Golden Circle. So the journey will begin at the Thingvellir National Park. This is Danielle, who's our marketing that's on the call with me. She and Jenny from our FIT Red team just recently did this excursion, and they were telling me that the Thingvellir National Park is actually where 2 continental plates match up. And I was reading about it, and there was an earthquake in 2000 that kind of separated these continental plates. So it's really such a natural wonder, and you can walk through them. So cool, mind-blowing for me that you could get to experience that. So they actually absolutely loved it, she said. So from there, your clients will go a bit further, and they'll discover Gullfoss, which is a golden waterfall that's fed by glacial watermelt. Then it's off to a field of hot springs to walk amidst the steam vents and mud pots that skirt the boundaries of an erupting geyser. Finally, the Golden Circle concludes at Skálholt Church, which is the ancient seat of Icelandic bishops and the center of power for centuries. It's really so very much to see during this Golden Circle expedition. From there, they can go inside the glaciers. So Iceland's glaciers actually cover roughly 10% of the island. And while you can visit them any time of the year, you can only witness their fascinating ice caves when the water freezes in the winter months. Longueval Glacier is known for man-made ice tunnels and caverns that give way to the enormous natural ice caves at the heart of the glacier. Imagine careening over the chilly landscapes in an 8-wheel drive glacier truck and trekking across the frozen ice that changes in color. It actually deepens in the blue color as the ice gets older. Along the way, the tour makes a stop at Europe's highest flow hot springs and a dramatic waterfall that's created by a river forced through a narrow rocky chute. Absolutely incredible. So, and while I was talking to Danielle and Jenny, they were telling me they actually did, instead of doing that glacier truck, they did a snowmobiling excursion over the glacier, and they said it was absolutely incredible. So scattered across the stretch of Reynisfjara shore are a collection of Iceland's black sand beaches. Along this sliver of the south coast are towering basalt columns that form the area's staggering cliffs and sea stacks that rise from the ocean. Along this tour route, visitors can enjoy panoramic views of Iceland's rich farmland, mountains, and glaciers before visiting two of the country's best-known waterfalls. And in Iceland, we recommended the Hotel Holt, which is in Reykjavik. There's very limited hotels, so we do recommend this Hotel Holt, kind of making it as a center point, and then them doing kind of some day excursions from there, or if they wanted to rent a car and drive themselves, that would be, a great experience for them. So from there, we're going to go to Scandinavia, which has also been a very up-and-coming destination for us. This picture right here is a property that we'll discuss at the very end, and I think that it has really helped blow up Scandinavia in terms of media attention. So from dog sled safaris to cross-country skiing, snowmobiling to sleeping in a hotel made of ice, there's no shortage of adventure in a Scandinavian winter. Just picture it, like cozying up to a warm mug of clog, which is a Swedish mulled wine, after sledding in a park or hiking across a frozen Nordic lake. Just make sure to remind your clients to keep looking for the swirls of green that the aurora borealis paints across the night sky. So we'll start in Sweden. Spread across 14 islands, Stockholm, Sweden is a fascinating blend of cutting-edge design and old-world charm. Your guests can shop for the latest fashions and savor the taste of Europe's newest chefs before exploring the old town known as the town between the bridges. From winding medieval alleyways to an imposing Gothic cathedral, it's the heart of a metropolitan escape. And just as there's no better place for a true Scandinavian experience, there's truly no better time than in the winter. One of our res agents was telling me that Stockholm, for them, they experienced it as a very young and youthful city. It's very hip. It was also really spread out. So they said there's so much to do and explore and see that you really could stay there for multiple days and have a wonderful experience. From there, we're going to take a 1-hour flight to Helsinki, Finland. So the waterfront capital of Helsinki is nestled among islands and skerries and one of nature's most picturesque landscapes. Pocket-sized and built for walking, this modern urban center is easily explored on foot or from the panoramic level of the Olympic Stadium Tower. Despite the cold, the feelings are always warm in this Nordic wonderland. There is a dog sledding through the woods, tobogganing in the park, and cross-country skiing on miles of well-groomed trails. Visitors can day trip across the frozen bay to explore the fortress of Shumalina, or enjoy a concert within the rugged walls of the solid rock church before heading to relax in one of the city's public saunas. So from there, we're going to head to Lapland, Finland. This is where I think maybe a few of you might have heard of before. So Lapland, Finland was actually featured on, I believe it was last season of The Bachelor. I didn't watch that season, sadly, but I had met the rep for this hotel property when I was at GTM East last year, and immediately fell in love with the Kokslottinen. I cannot pronounce it. I have to you should see my notes right now to try to help me with it. But they did spend, I don't know, I think it was an overnight experience, and they looked at the Northern Lights. And I have read where there's a lot of stuff fabricated on that show, but they didn't fabricate at all the experience of how incredible Finland was. Oh, so let's stay here for a second. So we'll sleep under the Northern Lights in a glass igloo in Lapland. This Arctic resort is home to a variety of outdoor activities for the nature seeker. Travelers can race dog sleds across the tundra, enjoy snowmobile rides, ice fish for a catch, and take silent walks beneath a painted sky where the aurora borealis brings the dawning of the north. Nearby at Santa's village, everyone is a child in a snowy wonderland where Santa's helpers stay busy answering the thousands of letters they receive every year. Visitors can stroll through the village, take a ride on a reindeer-driven sleigh, or even mail a postcard straight from Santa's workshop. So this is the property itself, as I said, the Kokslattinen Arctic Resort. So it's pretty cool. They have full glass igloo rooms that you can purchase. They have these ones in the top left corner where it's like a cabin with the glass, and then they have a full hotel product as well. As far as I know, we are the only tour operator that does sell this property, so it has become huge for us. Also, when I met the rep from there, she was saying that they always say you have the opportunity to see the northern lights between August and April, but obviously the darker the month, the better the chance will be. And she was saying there, because there's such little light pollution, they really do see it more than some of the other places. So if your clients are into the opportunity to see the northern lights, I highly, highly recommend this property. So that's all about our winter destinations. I want to talk to you about a few resources that we have on our website. So if you go on our website, we have sightseeing flyers, we have food flyers. We've been seeing a ton of your clients who are interested in more of that food and wine experience while they're traveling. So we do have some flyers for some countries. If you have not already, do sign up for our newsletter. That's how you get announcements about webinars like this, upcoming fam trips, any new products that we have. It's really a great way to keep in touch with us. And if you have any questions for us in regards to our website, I'm going to send a follow-up email. Just touch base with us. I'm happy to jump on a call with you and kind of walk you through it. It really is so chock full of resources for you and some things that you can share with your clients that I think you should take full advantage of it. So how to get in touch with us? There's 3 ways. You can submit a custom quote request form. If you go online, you'll see that FIT or group custom quote request form. As you see all those red asterisks, for us, that's all the information that we need to really start creating the best itinerary for your client. The more we know about them, the better we can customize that itinerary for them. Kind of also like we talked about earlier with the kind of range of products that we have. If you know a hotel is really important to your client, tell us that. Maybe we don't want to book a 3.5 star for them. Maybe we want to do a 4.5 star for them. If you know that they're going to want a private transfer, the more you know, the better off we are. I do promise you that. You can also call our travel specialists. Like I said, they're located in Bothell. They're absolutely incredible. I think that they're the greatest resource within our organization. So do call, talk to them. They're such a wealth of knowledge. They have even been a wealth of knowledge for me. And I love talking to them about their travels and their experiences. Many of them have lived abroad, studied abroad, traveled there very often. So I just love hearing their stories. And then you can always book online. Our online engine is available for you. I do recommend it if you have a fairly cut and dry booking, if you're doing only a hotel or just like a hotel with sightseeing and transfers. I feel like it's a little harder on the air of the rail, but up to you. If you're pretty comfortable using it, then it's available to you. So here are some good phone numbers you might need to know. I'm going to leave this slide up for just a second so you can write these down. These are the hours of our FIT department and our groups department. Like I said, we are open 7 days a week on the FIT side, which is very, very helpful for y'all. Hopefully that was enough time. And that's it. So do you have any questions for me, or Danielle, are there any questions for me?
Thank you so much, Meredith. That Lapland looks beautiful. The Kokslattinen, I think that's how you pronounce it. Is it that? Is it Kokslattinen?
Kokslattinen.
I don't know if anyone knows how to pronounce it. I did forget to mention, too, that Nikita, our res coordinator from Europe Express, is actually taking over our Instagram and is in Finland on a Visit Finland fam trip right now. So if you do want to get more in-depth look on Finland, I would definitely go take a look at our Instagram. It's at Europe Express. We do have a few questions coming in. Let's see. Is the Golden Circle tour only available for FIT, Meredith?
I can't imagine why we couldn't do it on the group side. So, I mean, the groups can do anything that the FIT side can do. They're just gonna, they don't pull inventory. They're gonna customize it for your group. So, unless Ricardo's listening in and saying, Meredith, you're crazy, it is available for groups as well.
Yeah, no, I think groups is capable of pretty much anything, so I definitely think that would be available. Let's see here. That tour that you said your colleagues went on with the snowmobiling, is that also bookable through Europe Express? And as the person that did take that snowmobiling tour, it is available through Europe Express. Any special requests like that, feel free to ask us. We can at least look into it and see if it's available and if we can book it, okay? But 99% of the time we can. Let's see. Do you offer fam trips for travel agents who do a certain volume booking, or who do certain volumes of bookings with Europe Express?
So our fam trips are not based on production. Sometimes the tourism boards do require that you've sold their destination some, but that's specific based off of the country that we're partnering with. But we do offer fam trips. I don't know of any that we have coming up. Earlier this year, we did our first round of, we did like a paid fam, and we did 2 to Ireland and 1 to Italy, and it was a very low cost for the land-only portion of it. It's basically like what our cost would be. So be on the lookout for those newsletters for those. I've heard some rumblings that there might be some opportunities coming up, but we know that a fam trip is really the best way for you to experience the country and our product, and we want to give you all the opportunity to get out there as much as possible so you can talk to your clients about it. So yes, fam trips, not production based.
Great, thank you. Would you mind actually going back to the contact us page? They're wanting the phone numbers.
You don't want to see my picture?
Your picture is beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you offer a la carte pricing, or is it package pricing?
So all of our pricing is a la carte. We recommend that you show it to your client as the package, only because it's kind of in your protection, because the second they see the breakdown of it, especially on the hotel side, is when they're going to go price compare it online. So you will see the breakdown. All of our documents come as like an agent invoice and a client invoice. The client is going to show the package price. You will see the breakdown. So if by chance you had done a custom request for some crazy tour that ended up being way more than you planned on, you'll know where you have the wiggle room to maybe eliminate that or change something. But we really recommend that you show your client only the package price of it.
Great, thank you. One last question here. Let's see. Is the group's pricing, is that competitive with other groups' markets?
I think it would depend on who you're looking for groups, but yes, we're really the only ones who are doing groups the way that we are, that they're the true customized product with the support from kind of beginning to end. But when we did that price comparison and that comp set analysis, yes, we're very in line, but I'll say our service is unlike what any other company is providing. And on the group side, you can also price everything either as net or commissionable, and our groups team will walk you through that.
Yeah, they are a wealth of knowledge as well and can help you. One last question, Meredith, because I think it's an important one. Are there different commissions for flights from hotels and other services?
So your commissions are going to be based off of your consortia affiliation. So when I send the follow-up email, please feel free to reach out to me by email or by phone, and I can let you know what your commissions are on the hotel, sightseeing, transfer, rental car side. In terms of air, we are 5% commission for air across the board, no matter what class of service or who your consortia affiliation is. And then on the rail side, we do not offer any commissions, but you can do an agent markup on any of our bookings, and we don't cap our agent markup. So that's something to consider too. So if there's a lot of rail components, just add in that agent markup. Your client does not, if they're seeing it as the package price, they won't see what that markup is. And you can make sure you get yourself paid for that rail component.
Great, thank you. All right, I do have, so the Instagram again, I got that question, it's at Europe Express, and that's Nikita, the res coordinator that's taking over that. So if you want to see a more in-depth look into Finland, please go ahead and look on there. She's taken some great pictures. I wish I was on the trip myself. All right, I think that's going to conclude everything today. Thank you everyone for joining us for the Winter Destinations webinar. Thank you, Meredith, for being a wonderful presenter.
Well, thank you all so much. Hope you have a wonderful Friday and a great weekend.
Thank you so much.
Bye.